Coercive control is a pattern of abusive behaviours and tactic used by an individual to dominate, manipulate and control their partner or other person they are in an intimate relationship with.
Coercive control almost always underpins domestic, family and sexual violence.
Coercive control is a form of psychological abuse that can include both physical and non-physical forms of violence aimed at maintaining power and control over the victim.
Whilst coercive control can happen anywhere, there are particular manifestations within the entity which are highly contextual. Spot the signs.
Isolation. The user of violence may isolate the victim from friends, family, and support networks. This isolation serves to limit the victim's access to any kinds of support or help and create dependence on the user of violence.
Is that like he owned me all the time?
Monitoring and surveillance. The user of violence may monitor the victim's activities, including their online presence, phone calls and whereabouts. They may insist on knowing every detail of the victim's life. This can include controlling everyday activities like food and medication.
Emotional and psychological abuse. This includes undermining the victim's self-esteem, confidence, and sense of self-worth through constant criticism, degradation, and belittling. The victim may be made to feel worthless and incapable of living independently.
By the end of it, I was a shadow of myself.
Once I had my children, my husband didn't hit me as much, but he would call me cruel names in front of my children and family.
This can also influence service providers' perception of women, particularly mothers. Coercive control can also be conducted through technology.
But when I would post things online, my husband would get angry with me.
Financial control. The user of violence may exert control over the victim's finances, limiting their access to money and resources. This financial dependence can make it difficult for the victim to leave the abusive relationship. This can include withdrawing Centrelink payments in the person's name or logging into their MyGov to take out loans. This can also extend to limiting someone's access to money or preventing them from working or keeping a job.
Controlling behaviours. The user of violence may control various aspects of the victim's life, such as what they wear, who they can see, and where they can go. They may set strict rules and regulations that the victim must follow.
Are you going to wear that? Do you have to say that? Do you have to talk like that?
They can control every part of a person's life, from what brands they buy at the supermarket to whether they are allowed to wash their clothes or go for a shower. This can be a part of socially isolating the victim.
Gaslighting. This is a form of psychological manipulation in which the user of violence makes the victim doubt their own perceptions, memory, and reality. They may deny abusive behaviours, causing the victim to question their own sanity. This can also make service providers doubt the victim survivor's story and can further isolate them.
Threats. Threats in the Northern Territory, like elsewhere, are used to instill fear and control, such as threats against the victim survivor, against children, pets, property, or other people.
I was terrified and he was threatening to kill my dog and things like that. And
Threats can also include using systems to further control, abuse, and harm the victim. For example, threatening to call welfare, manipulating parenting plans, and threats to call the police.
Migration status is often used by perpetrators to control the victim.
Using cultural or religious beliefs to control. This can be about demeaning, denigrating, or belittling someone's Aboriginal culture, identity, and or spirituality. Making threats or accusations of sorcery or black magic. This is done to instill fear in the victim and control them.
Intermittent reinforcement. The user of violence may alternate between periods of extreme kindness and affection and episodes of abuse. This inconsistency can keep the victim hopeful that the relationship will improve.
Love bombing. Love bombing is a type of emotional manipulation. The user of violence is showering someone with excessive attention and affection, often at the beginning of a relationship. It is a manipulative tactic to gain control.
Everything was good for about 3 months. Like, he would buy me gifts, he would take me out to dinner. He basically love bombed me. He brought me anything and everything that I wanted.
Jealousy.
Coercive control in the Northern Territory, particularly in Aboriginal communities, is often referred to as jealousing.
Jealousing is an action or a series of actions rather than a feeling or an emotion. It is performed often publicly and is behaviour to sanction real or perceived or invented sexual misconduct. It most commonly occurs between intimate partners but can extend to others as well.
Sexual coercion. Forcing or pressuring someone into sexual activity.
I ended up staying the night, but I didn't want to sleep together or anything. I just wanted to just chill out, and somehow he convinced me to come in the bed, and then he ended up just forcing me to do it.
You would just submit instead. Really, it wasn't like a forceful thing. It was just a very much, I don't want to be doing this, but I need to sleep tonight.
Coercive control is a pattern of behaviour and can cause severe damage.
You spotted the signs, then what?
Listen, believe, and validate.
I'm sorry that has happened to you. Domestic violence is never okay.
Prioritise safety.
Do you feel safe at home?
Encourage action. Talk. Ask.
Is there a trusted person or service you would like to call? Can I put you in touch with the service?